Hey, what's up? These are the two friends. They just say, hey, what's up? And yeah, we're gonna go take out some babies today. This is an incredible uh, duo, the Scute Swarm and the Terror of the Peaks. And there was a time that I thought, like, Terror of the Peaks, man, he's been good, but maybe I just wasn't getting what I needed to get out of the Terror. And I think I found in when you slay somebody with this combo, it feels pretty good. So you have your Terror of the Peaks here. This is the 3 colorless, 2 red creature dragon. Flying spells your opponents cast. The target Terror of the Peaks costs an additional 3 life to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals combat damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Well, so it's a good rate. It's a flyer. It's a big flyer, and that's in like a more best of one format. That's kind of nice, right? Additionally, uh, just getting rewarded for having multiples of creatures come into the battlefield, and have a decent amount of power. Like Eska's Chariot kind of comes to mind to an extent, like a card like that where it's kind of bringing in a lot of power to the battlefield, I suppose, and like continually doing it. So there's the Terror of the Peaks, right? So it's going to definitely benefit us from having any creature enter the battlefield and having to basically deal that damage to any target. So why this is good for Scute Swarm is that Scute Swarm basically is a creature that can multiply itself based on the amount of lands that you come into the battlefield. In fact, it starts like getting exponential. Once you've hit I believe it is your six or more lands, then this starts actually just copying the actual itself along with the characteristics with the card does itself. And then before then, it just creates a 1/1 green insect creature token, which is still fine. Just creates bodies, right? So Scute Swarm with this and basically having an abundance of land enter the battlefield. For instance, there's a new card called Aftermath Analyst, I believe. Like, for instance, that card is just fantastic at putting a lot of lands onto your battlefield at once. So this Scute Swarm is just really fantastic, and we can definitely KO opponents with this combo. So it's very cool. So, let's look at some cards, like, the ones that we want to consider. And I'd say, like, probably just looking through this pile, it's mostly, like, right on track. Maybe some of the other choices maybe have changed slightly. And that's why I kind of go through this. I actually have 2 decks present here. They're both Maria decks, so they all have, like, decent bases to them. They're mostly, like, the one on the left is mostly complete, but I'll definitely be just kind of taking from it here and kind of looking at it. There is a lot of duplicates for cards also. Rapid Battery, that's definitely a consideration, at least in a brawl list. But we'll go through these and kind of see what's going to be sticking and what's not. So the Sword of Fortune Frontier, that definitely make it into like an EDH cut. That's a really fantastic card. Just kind of zoom in on that one. Sword of the Fortune Frontier Wire, I just love this card. It's really good at giving that extra value. It's great for landfall. It's going to be really good with double strikers too. So we're definitely going to put in some double strikers into this deck. And Maria also really loves this kind of equipment where it can just tap the artifacts for mana. So that's always nice. A nice interaction. There's our commander, of course. Makes it into our little command zone here. I did play around with Oracle and Moldiah, and yeah, like, I think, like, my vision for this deck is more like mill stuff into the graveyard. And I know this is obviously a goated feature. Like, I'm just not like a fan of the creature itself. Like the 2/2 body is just it's kind of weak. And man, it's always good. It has a target on its back, it seems. And sometimes you break on it. But sometimes it's really great. So it's like it's an interesting card. There's no doubt about it. Probably very good for landfall, but we're going to be probably focused on doing landfall in a different way, to be honest. And mostly that's just like getting value from like the graveyard, like Crucible Worlds and such. Milliken, I was thinking about this one just to give it like a little bit extra, maybe extra over the top, but really there's much better 2-mana rocks that we can play that would just have so much more synergy. Really about like mana acceleration, of course, is so important for this game. So Howling Mine, there is that. Of course, that definitely makes the cut. Just a big card engine. Lotus Cobra, of course, if we're going to be playing landfall. A bird, that sounds good. The Volatile Wanderglyph, this is a suggestion in one of the comments. Like, probably about want to say probably like 2 months ago now. And you know, it is a great suggestion. This thing is great. Just instant looting, creating mana with Maria. It's just a cool card. Very cool for this deck. And it's a creature body. It's very interesting altogether. Nissa, this is just like the card that you just hope you didn't miss from the list, because it's just so good in the landfall deck, and it's just obviously there. Blossoming Tortoise, once again, this is just more often not good than anything else, right? So, Aftermath Analyst, this is the new one from New Capenna, or it's not New Capenna, the Murders of Karlov Manor. And yeah, so that's the new one, and it's obviously exceptionally strong. It's very fun when cards are just like so observing, like it's just has a dramatic effect on the game, like at least the standard sets. So this is just a crazy one, huh? So just a good graveyard synergy, and then like an easy sack cost, very easy. Just that's how I really really got sold on this, was like these three here together. This is all you need right now, I think, for landfall, for Gruul, maybe. Yeah, that's probably the bomb, huh? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So certainly you can kind of just combo off and at least take somebody out. And that's what you kind of want, right? You want the ability to take somebody out maybe that's dangerous. So yeah, the Terror of the Peak, very cool. That's just an all-around sweet interaction. That one will just go ahead and return all your land cards from your graveyard back to the battlefield tap for that low cost. And we put a lot of cards in our graveyard, so. All right, so let's just keep going through. We'll definitely try out a Worldly Tutor, just because I feel like grabbing like maybe a Goblin Welder would be kind of nice. You know, we have so many good creatures really to kind of go fetch up. So definitely some good targets with that. So we'll definitely be trying that one out. Oh, this one's just fantastic too for landfall. It's one of those cards that just kind of locks up the game. It kind of makes it more easy to access sometimes for victories. It's just like kind of locks it in, and you know, you get those extra combat steps and really start, you know, dealing a lot of damage to your opponent. How I've been playing this, and I read this on the internet, it seems to be working so good so far, is that you want to play your land after your first combat, and then you can kind of utilize the untaps for your through the first combat that you have on your extra combat step. So that's kind of a nice one there for the Morag. You can just kind of, after your first combat, just kind of go hog wild with, you know, throwing down your lands and such. So yeah, I love it. I love the Morag for the Coon. All right, yep. So Awaken the Woods, yep. That's a crazy landfall card. Exploration, yeah, that's another really crazy landfall card that just accelerates you from their first turn, gives you an extra land on each of those turns. Then we have Azusa, just beautiful here. Just you know, I feel less toxic like just playing this in my command zone, you know, just having it maybe in the Gruul list. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like a risk reward. Like, let me explain. So for instance, like with the Mary on the battlefield, you're also kind of balancing your artifacts to go along with landfall. So it's kind of give it a give and take. But for instance, with Maria, you may have like 2 low cost artifacts, you know, on the battlefield, and maybe you know, played some lands for the turn, but you're maybe just looking for that extra one. And we're going to be playing like nearly half our deck lands, right? So just by simply tapping these 2 artifacts, you can, you know, get an exile card, and you know, more often than not, it's going to probably be a land. So you're going to get that Azusa value, you know, with Maria, which is kind of fun. You know, you're usually going to hit a land off of those, you know, impulse draws. So it's kind of fun. And it's really kind of just like a, you know, classy play, man. It just looks really good. So, all right, let's keep rolling. All right, so then the Sensei's Divine Tops. Yeah, this is a very good card, of course. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, definitely be doing that one. Ramunap Excavator. So we're getting into one of our more key landfall cards that will allow us. This would be also a good Worldly Tutor target, like a Ramunap Excavator. We can just start getting the value from our graveyard with our lands. We'll have plenty. Tireless Provisioner, that's a nice one right there for landfall to create like an abundance of treasures. Let's keep moving through here. Okay, yeah, Swiftfoot Boots, that's a good one. I like that one. I like that one because, you know, we can still put more things on Maria if like she gets equipped with stuff like commander plate and such. So yeah, that's the Swiftfoot Boots. We like that one a lot. Let's see, housing device. I'm not sure. This one for sure though. Scrapwork Mutt. That's a nice little 2-mana looter. We can unearth it for later. I love. It's so good. The unearth value. So like we're gonna be playing all the unearthed cards, even like Mishra's work desk, I believe it's called. That one's a really nice one. So like you get all that unearthed value. So you can play that. You can play the Scrapwork Mutt. You can play the Fraction Dragon Engine. You can play Cityscape Leveler. So those are all very cool to have in like your graveyard for your unearth capabilities. So very cool. And then of course you can tap it for mana, which is always awesome. Then we'll probably be sacking a pretty reasonable artifact really, because all our artifacts are very good. So in the worst case scenario, we'll be sacking like a lower cost artifact, maybe to exchange nicer artifacts from our graveyard with a Goblin Welder with that ability of just sacrificing an artifact and putting anyone from my graveyard into the battlefield. So very good, of course. Glad Halfling just for some nice ramp there. And here we go. Oh yeah, Ren and 7. This one's really fun too. It puts stuff in our graveyard which we want, and it also will put hands into our more lands into our hands. So obviously a very cool landfall card in general. I really love it for landfall. It really grew on me. This Ren and 7. We're gonna be pairing it with like a card like Nylea's Intervention. So all you mono green landlords out there, just absolute geniuses. Like I was playing an opponent with this, and he had this in the brawl queue with this as his commander, and he had a Nylea's Intervention, and man, he popped off. It was crazy. So yeah, that's a good one, and that's a good pairing, And yeah, I'm still gonna see how the capabilities of this one is, but I think it'll be pretty good in EDH. All right, let's keep moving here. Yes, I'm glad I got this one out. This one is so fun. Wow, Tribute to the World Tree. This really caught me off guard, and I started playing it, and it was great. Someone had done some nasty things with Scute Swarms to me with this card on the battlefield, and yeah, that's a nice interaction as well. So just making an army of Scute Swarms was pretty good. And then, of course, if the creature's card is power 3 or greater, you would just go ahead and draw a card from it. So really good gas. All right, Crucible of Worlds. Ooh, this is the bangers. We got all the bangers in here. So there's Crucible of Worlds, Castle Garenbrig. We got Balagad Recovery to access our graveyard there. We got all these fetch lands in here. Some nice artifact lands that are duals. Some man lands to sink into. We got a lot of good, what would you say, fetch lands here. We have this new Surveil land, so that one's kind of cool. Yeah, just looking real nice. Got a nice assortment of fetch lands and duels. Some nice legendary lands here as well, of course. Mycosynth Garden is a fan favorite. That one's really great. I love it. Copying artifacts. And we're just going to keep rolling. Looks like I got through some lands here. Here's Goblin Engineer. Fantastic for our deck. Just tutors up artifacts into our graveyard. Omnath, a great landfall card, of course. And Paradise Mantle. This is just wonderful as well. Really good, 0 cost artifact from Maria. Kind of has a double capability of turning Maria into even like a mana rock, which is really nice. Virtue of Strength. This is a new one that can get us a land or creature back from our graveyard to our hand for that low cost of 1. It's an adventure card, and then we can access this. And we're going to be playing a decent amount of basics. That reminded me, I kind of want to read Ren, because I feel like does he only fetch basics? I was just really curious about that. Just bear with me for a moment here. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards into your hand. Maybe I was just breaking a lot the other night. That's fine. It's all land cards. Wow, that's pretty good, guys. It's pretty good stuff. All right, Soul Ring. And now we're just into like our super duper ramp, like Emerald Medallion, Mesmeric Orb just for like an abundance of cards into our graveyard, you know, really taking advantage of it. Sylvan Library for just some mega card gas. Shriekhorn. Avenger Zendikar probably too, right? Yeah, I'm thinking I have all the big baddies in here mostly. I'm still kind of going through here. You know, this was kind of a base I worked on, and I was just kind of had this other deck out. So kind of wanted to add what I knew that I was going to add, such as like the One Ring, of course, is just really strong. Commander's Play would be good. You know, a card like Mox Opal, this one is really sweet. You know, but I think it's fine. I think I'm just going to play the Paradise Mantle for this one. But I really like this. This maybe fits in a more artifact-centered Myriad deck where I'm not playing Landfall and really just like cruising into artifacts. So yeah, that's a Mox Opal. That's very good, of course. Let's see. Oh, Urza Saga. That's a pretty good one too. Kind of forgot about that one. That's a great one. I don't know if I'm playing Hopa Gurp or I'm not sure. I know I'm playing Lizard Blades though. Probably don't play Boseiju. Yeah, I'm just kind of pulling from here, there, Phyrexian Dragon Engine. I don't know if I saw a Henge amongst those cards, so that one's pretty good. Let's see, Turn Timber Symbiosis. I don't know if I saw that or not. Put that one to the side. I think I'll need a sort of I think it's called Peace and Justice or Fire and Ice. Yeah. Vorinclex, absolutely. There's Vorinclex. Yeah, this was definitely more artifact-centered and creature-centered, this other one that I'm looking through. Haywire Might, Fable, definitely a Fable. There's a sword. Oh man, I have some really good duels in here, but I think that's kind of a good one to start with. Let's see. No, I don't think I saw the leveler yet. Ragavan? I don't know if I saw Ragavan. There's City Skip Leveler. Yeah, all these cards have like a lot of overlap. There's a Ruby Medallion. I'll probably play the nice ones if I have both of the medallions, the Tempest art. I'll probably play those in this one. Yeah, I'll play the Tempest ones. So on that note, I think like that's kind of just what I was presenting today. Is just kind of a look into this one. It's a nice one. It's definitely has some cool interactions, to say the least. So yeah, I'm hoping you all have a great day, and I'll definitely post a list into the description so you can kind of get a better idea of like what all the cards will do with each other. But hope you got a good idea of that through it, and have a great day.